Wednesday meeting, as announced on the West Virginia Secretary of State website as well. So that system is working very nicely, by the way. So first we will start with a roll call. BJ DeFelice. Dan Greathouse.
Here.
Dan Spicker.
Here.
And Doug Velagal, which is me, here. All right, good. Did everyone get a chance to sign in? Okay, great. So next item is adoption of the agenda. The emphasis of today is to appoint board members, positions, as well as subcommittees, so we can stand up in the organization. So,
Second.
can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Move the motion. Motion to move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we got 3-0. Okay, next item is public comment. Since this is an emergency session, we are going to waive that agenda item. Approval of previous minutes. We do not have the previous minutes, so once again, waiving that. So that brings us to item number 7, new business. And this is BR 118, appointment board for Jim Rico. Appointment, board member Greco. A Weirton Area Port Authority WAPA board resolution to appoint Jim Greco as a member of the WAPA board. Whereas Mr. Greco is a resident of Hancock County, a successful businessman, a community leader, and a longtime volunteer for both the Weirton Area Port Authority and the nonprofit organization Weirton Area Port Authority, Inc. Mr. Greco has devoted many hours towards creating an environment needed to attract new business opportunities. He also has an excellent understanding of WAPA's duties, objectives, and purpose, both within the state as well as from a federal perspective, and programs that can be utilized by the port. Therefore, let it be resolved that the Weirton Area Port Authority appoints Mr. Jim Greco as a member of the WAPA board for a 5-year term expiring in 2021. Can I get a motion to vote, or a motion to bring the resolution to the floor?
Motion to bring to the floor.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Beautiful. Any questions, comments from anyone? Okay, so can I get a motion to, okay, so all in favor of Mr. Jim Greco joining the WAPA board, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let it be recorded that it was 3 ayes, no nays for the vote. Okay, the next item is reviewing the board members' terms. So as you know, as we go through this, we all had a 5-year term. Some of us have been here longer than others. Mr. DeFelice started in 2010, December 2010, and I started September 2011. So we've been here for quite a while. So also on the board, the next longest tenure is Dan Spickard with 3 years remaining. Danny Greathouse, a little less than 5 years. And Mr. Jim Greco, 5 years exactly, tick-tock. So we're going good there. So with that, just confused. Next thing I'd like to, yes.
BJ's on vacation with his family this week, and that's why he's not here. So.
That's a very good point. Yes.
I talked to him today. So.
BJ is taking a well-deserved vacation after many, many years of selfless service. He has taken a vacation. We happened to call the emergency meeting while he was on vacation. So I'm sure he would like to be here. So next order of business is I'd like to read this into record. Fellow board members, Mr. DeFelice was appointed to the Weirton Area Port Authority Board and became the chairman in December 2010. He has diligently guided WAPA as the team implemented processes, procedures, and introduced 117 resolutions to meet all local, state, and federal port standards and compliance requirements. Mr. DeFelice, unwavering leadership, business acumen, and diligent work enabled him to understand the positive impact WAPA will have on the Ohio Valley. As required by his duties as chairman, Mr. DeFelice helped create WAPA's yearly plans and the 5-year master plan. Through his leadership, he has led board meetings, helped form and organize the necessary subcommittees, working groups, task force, and advisory groups required to achieve the duties and objectives of WAPA. I would like to thank Mr. DeFelice for his service, thank him for his time away from his family, and thank him for the other countless personal sacrifices he made to stand WAPA up to this country's highest standards and requirements. Abraham Lincoln said, "Plan for the future. People who stay in the present will soon be in the past." Mr. DeFelice recognizes this and knows the future for our kids and the Valley is something that we need desperately to invest in, and WAPA is the vehicle to drive positive change now and for the future generations. I personally greatly appreciate the time and service he has devoted over the past 5 years. With Mr. DeFelice's 5-year term now expired, I would like a motion to bring to the floor a vote to reappoint Mr. DeFelice to the WAPA Board of Directors for another term not to exceed 5 years.
Bring that motion.
Second.
Any discussions? Okay. So let's take a vote. All in favor of adding BJ back on as on board of directors, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. 4-0. 4-0. Okay, so next order of business is my renewal. So I have exactly 2 months to go. I've been extremely honored to be on this committee. So, I'm sure what to do here. Can I nominate? I can't nominate
No,
myself.
we can't. Somebody can.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate you to be reinstated onto the board. Bring that motion to the table.
No second.
Any discussion? Okay, great. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's a tricky one. Okay, so the ayes have it. Next order of business are,
Can you mention though about the overlapping terms that not everybody that just got voted in is 5 years?
oh, okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Do you want to explain that, please?
Okay.
On record?
I will explain that in the bylaws are set up that there's 5-year terms, but 4 members at least have to be on alternating years. As a result, if you end up voting in Danny Greathouse, Jim Greco, BJ, and Doug, they're all in the same year. If they all end up expiring, then you lose 4 members at once. So as a result, in this situation, 2 of the members need to end up filling the slots that are less than 5 years, so that they don't all expire in the same year. So, Doug, there's empty spots then in the 1-year spot, 2-year spot, and 4-year spot. So it's up to them to determine where they want to fill it. And then we can just put that in the roster then when we identify where terms expire.
Absolutely fantastic. So how about if we get this,
Yes, just like Congress, yes.
so do you guys want to discuss this on, so Danny Greathouse has 5 years, Dan Spickard has 3, so that means there's a 4, 2, and
Jim Greco has 5 years. You have to have 4 board members that are.
Okay, so Jimmy can be on 5 years.
I see, I got it.
Jimmy can be 5 years.
Okay,
Danny can be 5 years.
and then
Dan
either,
Spickard is 3 years.
then either BJ and I would be
Yes.
4 and 1 would be 2.
That's
That's
correct.
right.
Okay.
Or 1 and 2 and leave 4 empty. Anyway, you've got 3 chairs.
Okay.
3 spots, 2 people.
Got it, okay.
Okay?
So do we need to make that announcement here? Or
No, we can end up publishing it next month.
Okay, very good.
Since BJ's on vacation, it would be nice if he had a chance.
If he had a say in it,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, very good. So the next order of business are the appointment to as committee sponsors. So as was stated last week, we currently have 5 subcommittees. Finance Committee is sponsored by Dan Spickard. The Operations Committee is sponsored by me, Doug Bellagall, and the Tourism is sponsored by Danny Greathouse. So there are still 2 open positions that need to be filled or sponsored. One is the Asset, the other one is the Labor Subcommittee. And I believe the chairperson is excluded from being a sponsor. So that leaves 2 places left. The Asset Committee.
Sorry, I have to
Sure.
intercede. You don't know who your chairperson is because you haven't voted for
I'm
office
sorry.
yet.
Did I miss that? Oh, no, I didn't. So we should do that next.
Yes,
Before we do this.
that's why it was the next thing on that chart.
Election of officers, I apologize about that. So our next thing is the election of officers. So typically, the way our bylaws are set up is the election of officers is conducted every January. This year, with us being on a cease and desist and honoring that from the state, we did not have a January meeting, and therefore we're not able to elect officers.
It's actually a question of the season.
But we were honoring it, yes. Thank you. So with that in mind, we would now like to have election of interim officers that would span the period from today through our meeting in January 2017. So with that, the first position would be our chair position. And can I make a motion for candidates for the position of chairman of the board for the Weirton Area Port Authority?
Motion.
Can I get a second? Second.
No, you need to nominate.
Meeting it first.
Oh, I just bring it, we just don't bring it to the floor, we, okay,
No, right
got
now,
it, okay,
You've got to nominate somebody.
okay.
I nominate Jimmy Greco for president.
A second.
Oh,
Chairman.
Yeah, it's chairman, not president.
Does Mr. Grigo accept the
Yes.
the nomination? Okay, so we will put this to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? So let it be recorded that Jim Greco is the chairperson for WAPA from today through our January meeting 2017. Congratulations.
Next one.
The next one is the vice chair position.
Now you need to nominate.
Open the floor to nominates.
I open the floor for a nomination for vice chairman.
Nominate Dan Greathouse for vice chair.
Can I get a second?
A second.
Very good. Does Mr. Greathouse accept the? Okay, so let's put it to a vote. All in favor of Dan Greathouse as vice chair for the Weirton Area Port Authority until January 2017, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Be shown. 3-0. Mr. Vice Chair, Danny Greathouse. Next position is the position of secretary. Can we get a nomination for the secretary?
Nominate Doug Belligal.
A second.
Second. And I accept. So all in favor of Doug Belligal being the secretary of WAPA through January 2017, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I know, I just slipped. So let it be shown, it was 3-0 for the secretary. The next position is the treasurer for the Weirton Area Port Authority. Can I have a nomination, please? I'll second that. Do you accept?
Yes.
All in favor of Dan Spickert being the treasurer for the Weirton Area Port Authority through January 2017, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Let the record show it was 4, I guess they're all 4.
No, we're 3-0.
All 3-0, you have to stay, I got it. 3-0, Dan, in favor of Dan Spickert as chair. All right, we're moving, aren't we? Okay, next order of business is the appointment of committee sponsors. And the role of the sponsorship is just to oversee, guide, and report back to the board of directors the actions from the various subcommittees. So moving forward, our next meetings, we will have reports from the finance, the operations subcommittees to present what happened the previous month. So currently, we have 3 of the positions filled. We still need a sponsor for the asset and the labor subcommittees. So first, let's open the floor to nominations for the sponsor for the asset subcommittee.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate BJ for these.
I'll second that.
Dan Spickert seconds it. All in favor of BJ DeFelice as the sponsor for the Asset Subcommittee, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Let the record show it was 4-0, BJ DeFelice, sponsor for the Asset Subcommittee. The last one, the labor sponsor, the sponsor for this labor subcommittee, since the chairperson is not allowed by our bylaws to be the head of a subcommittee, we need to find someone who can fill two, that can act as the sponsor for the labor subcommittee. So with that, can I get a nomination? What would you like to discuss? How about if we just go through what the trying to get the charter provides certain life guidelines, the committee on the, I'm just trying to get a real quick synopsis of what the subcommittee does. Do you happen to have that? I can read this, but it's awfully long. Okay.
Can we table that until we're,
No,
we have to do it?
yes, we want to get this done today.
I would think if you want to, get a little more briefed on it, to bring it back, that would have been good, so.
Okay,
It's not mandatory that you walk out with
okay.
a neighbor box.
That way BJ can have some input.
Okay, very good. I thought we had to get the subcommittees clarified.
Actually, you've got a motion to table that you. need
Oh,
to
I'm
put
sorry,
on.
we got a motion to
Yep.
table. Can I get a second?
Second.
Ask for, I think I'll call that a few times, so we can take a look at deals now. We're seeing something on the ground now.
How about that? Okay, very good. That takes care of, all in favor of tabling the sponsor for the labor subcommittee lead, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Let the record show 4-0 towards tabling the sponsorship. So with that, our next item of business is executive session, which I don't believe I have anything. Does anyone at the table have anything that they'd like to bring up in executive session?
Well, I think we were going to get a legal update again. We have anything last week.
The only legal update that we would have is we're still waiting to get the draft from the Deputy Attorney General of
Okay.
the new operating agreement. And that's old news, but we're still waiting. It was supposed to be in my office today. It's not there. I made some calls, so we're waiting on that.
Right, Bill and I were in contact today on that, so.
Right. And then we have the meeting coming on Friday.
Friday, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock in my office, and we go from there and show them what's going on here, and hopefully we'll be discussing what's going on.
Good.
Our documentation we need to turn in, it's all good.
I have not seen all the documentation. The only documentation that I have seen is what I had put together on the summary of anything we received.
We're compiling diligently. And
Oh, I haven't
we were talking about it the other night, and obviously, I think everybody that's been involved here knows how much stuff there is. So we're just kind of sorting out what is going to be the most appropriate thing to present to them.
Do
So
you have an idea when that might be ready?
tomorrow we'll have it.
Tomorrow, good.
Yeah, I was out of town today. We'll be back on it with MJ.
Can you drop a copy of it now?
Yep.
4 or 5 tomorrow?
Yep.
Good. Only because these guys are going to be here
Yeah, I
at
know.
11 o'clock on Friday. I don't think we need
Yep.
Good. Thanks for the update. I know everything's going along very well, so look forward to our next step. So that concludes tonight's meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Nay. So let it be known, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.